Mystery motor, 90 GT, old motor out on the crate, and gonna go ahead and get this thing sitting in. Just make sure that, you know, we managed to do the old clutch alignment tool by ourselves quick. And yeah, just once it's in there, I'm gonna feel properly accomplished for the week. So gonna go ahead and try and get that done here in the next few minutes. So let's get to it. Fingers crossed this won't take too long because I gotta get home to my fiance. Alright guys, I was going to call it a night because I got everything cleaned up, but you know what, I'm just going to plow it through. I want to go ahead and get the clutch and flywheel moved over from this motor onto this one. Just one of those nights, you're kind of in the groove. I'm sure you've all been there. Just want to try and make as much progress as possible so that way, you know, it's just easier to get this motor put in that one. So the clutch disc and pressure plate look like they're in good shape, so we got nothing to worry about there. Alright guys, going to go ahead and just put on a little bit of red Loctite on the threads. So we got them all cleaned up in the wire wheel. Them all ready. There was quite a bit on there before. You don't need to overdo it. It's important you got it on there, but you don't need to overdo it. So the interesting thing about a flywheel, if you haven't done this guys, is the holes will only line up one way. So sometimes you just got to keep rotating it and rotating it. And you'll be like, man, why aren't these holes lining up? Well, they will. Just keep turning it. Then you'll find that spot where all the holes line up and you'll be good to go. All right, I'll get our torque wrench. Check your messages from your significant other. Let her know you're going to be late because you're busy working on Foxbody stuff. Little I love you and miss you and see you later always works. So LMR actually has a really great torque spec resource, a full chart here. I'm not trying to promote them, it's just kind of facts. Let's see here, pressure plate to flywheel bolts, that's 12 to 24 foot-pounds, so that's good to know because we're about to do that one. And flywheel mounting bolts, 75 to 85 foot-pounds. So there you go, bar on the front bolt, floor will keep it from moving. That'll allow us to torque down our bolts. I'll just go in a crisscross pattern. So the disc, the flat side of the disc always faces the flywheel side. You can see this side's beefy, kind of sticks up. So that side goes down towards the pressure plate. And we'll get our dowel pins lined up here. Now, one important part, clutch alignment tool. Otherwise your disc is going to be sitting in the wrong spot and you're not going to be able to get the input shaft of your transmission installed. So, just going to loosely get the bolts started. Alright guys, so when in a pinch and you don't have a clutch alignment tool, you can see the disc is not sitting center with the pilot bearing hole. So what I've done is I've taken a 3/4 inch extension, and this is pretty much the diameter of the pilot bearing. So that's going to mimic the input shaft in this case, and then I've wrapped approximately 2 inches down with some electrical tape to beef up the circumference of the extension to mimic the diameter of the actual clutch disc. So this will allow us, to put that in. Hold it center like this, and then we will be able to tighten down the clutch disc. So there we go. Got the clutch aligned with our custom made clutch alignment tool. Afterwards I shine the light in there to make sure that everything looks straight in terms of the clutch disc and the pilot bearing, which it does, and got the bolts all torqued down to spec. So other than a few little things in the back side of the motor here, I want to make sure that all the vacuum lines are ready. There's one that's up on the underside here. If you guys have ever tried to play with that vacuum line once the motor is installed, it can be done, but it's a huge pain in the ass. So I'm going to make sure that these are ready. PCV line needs to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to grab the one off the motor we just took out, and then the coolant needs to be bypassed for now, just because the heater core needs to be replaced in the car. I am going to change it. It sucks, but it is what it is. I'm going to have the dash out anyways because I want to kind of freshen everything up in there, and so yeah, we will get that taken care of. But other than that, this thing is pretty much ready to get set back into the car. Alright guys, so I'm down here with the vacuum lines, and this is kind of an interesting setup. This was actually popped out when the previous owner first came to show me the car. So here is the factory PCV valve, and this is where the tube would go, which is the exact same deal that's sitting over there. And they put this long piece of hose here with this coupler. So you could see this is probably was wedged up in the firewall or getting pinched or folded down or something. Actually, you can see all the rubber cracking right here. So I'm gonna fix this up the right way. This type of stuff drives me nuts. So let me get this pipe off, or this piece of hose off, and we'll get this fixed up properly. Mystery motor, 90 GT, old motor out on the crate, and gonna go ahead and get this thing sitting in. Just make sure that we managed to do the old clutch alignment tool by ourselves quick, and yeah, just once it's in there, I'm gonna feel properly accomplished for the week. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and get that done here in the next few minutes. So let's get to it. Fingers crossed this won't take too long because I gotta get home to my fiance. Mission accomplished, got the motor in. It was a little bit of finagling in order to get it in there, just because the legs of the cherry picker actually sit so high, and I had the car back here just to give myself some more room. It is a little tight in this back corner with the lift. Probably would have been smarter to push it back and get it on the lift, but it's fine. It went in. Even small casualty here. I haven't drawn blood on a project in a while, so it was about time. Anyways, got the good old shop towel and electrical tape fix on that, and motor sitting in, and our homemade clutch alignment tool seems to have worked. Otherwise, that input shaft for the transmission wouldn't have gone in. Headers are still kind of hanging up out of the way there. Had to be careful, make sure that the spark plugs weren't hitting the headers when things were going back down in there. But there you go, folks. Pretty accomplished day, I'd say. You know, started about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's what, 7 o'clock at night here, and had a motor out, swapped some parts over, had a beer, you know, did all those things. And if it wasn't for those fuel lines, I probably would have found a way to keep going and get this thing fired tonight. But I'm happy the way things are, you know, not taking up so much room over there, having a bunch of motors sitting out. As you can see, there's no shortage. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Next time, definitely going to make sure that this thing is running. Might even be some aesthetic mods that are happening too. And really excited to hear and feel what this mystery motor is going to do once it fires and gets running. So be sure to tune in. Thanks for following, subscribing, all that good stuff, guys. We'll see you soon.